I hid in the bushes and filmed through an open window as my cheating wife entertained herself with 2 men and another woman, but I heard a suspicious rustle nearby, quickly left the shooting location, and headed to a bar. A woman approached me in the bar and said, "I'm the wife of one of those bastards, and I need those videos for ruthless revenge." There's a certain kind of gut instinct a man develops when something just isn't right in his own home. That cold whisper in your ear that tells you she's hiding something. For months, I ignored the signs. Her late nights at meetings, her sudden interest in privacy, changing phone passwords, the way she stopped looking at me the same way. But nothing could have prepared me for what I would see that night. And nothing could have prepared her for what I'd do next. My name's Nate. I'm a 35-year-old architect, married for 8 years to a woman I thought I knew, Alicia. She worked in marketing at a mid-sized firm and was always the life of the party, glowing in every social setting. I used to be proud to call her my wife. That pride died a slow death over the past 6 months. It was the company retreats that tipped me off. Twice a month, Alicia was gone for the weekend. No texts, no calls, no photos. Just radio silence followed by her breezing back into the house, humming as she unpacked lingerie I'd never seen before. So I did what any man at the edge of insanity does. I followed her. And what I found? It changed everything. She had told me she'd be out of town for a strategy session at her boss's villa in the hills. I waited until sundown before I drove out there, parked a quarter-mile away, walked through dense trees to get closer, and then I saw it. A modern glass house, lights glowing warm yellow, music thumping softly inside. I crept around the side, crouched beneath a set of trimmed hedges, and found the perfect vantage point. A wide window, curtain pulled aside slightly, revealing the living room. And what I saw burned into my memory forever. Alicia, half naked with 2 men and another woman, laughing, touching, completely uninhibited. No shame, no hesitation. This wasn't a casual affair. It was a full-blown, shameless group rendezvous, and she was clearly the ringleader. I raised my phone and started recording every disgusting detail. The laughter, the drinks, the moans, the way Alicia giggled as one of the men, her boss, fed her strawberries from his mouth while the other ran his hands down her back. I filmed everything for exactly 1 minute and 47 seconds. But then I heard a sound behind me. A twig snapped. My heart shot up to my throat. I ducked lower, holding my breath. Someone was nearby. I wasn't about to get caught, especially not by someone from that twisted gathering. I quietly retreated through the trees, jogging until I reached my car. I drove fast and didn't stop until I reached a dive bar 2 towns over. I walked in, ordered a bourbon, and sat down, trying to process what I had just witnessed. And that's when it happened. A woman slid into the seat beside me. Tall, dark hair, fierce eyes. "You were at the villa," she said flatly. My body tensed. "I saw you sneak out." "Don't worry, I'm not here to cause a scene." She sipped her drink. Then without looking at me, she said, "I'm the wife of the tall one, the bastard who was feeding your wife strawberries." She turned and stared into my eyes. "And I need those videos because if you're planning revenge, we're going to burn them together." She introduced herself as Talia, wife of Marcus, the silver-haired executive who had been rubbing strawberries on my wife's lips like they were filming some kind of twisted commercial. She didn't flinch, didn't hesitate, just looked me square in the eyes and said, "I want in." I took a deep sip of bourbon. "So you saw me filming?" She nodded. "I saw you duck into the trees, camera up. Figured either you were stalking someone or you were one of us." "Us?" "One of us," she laughed darkly. "The ones getting screwed over." She reached into her bag and pulled out her phone, tapped a few buttons, showed me something that made my stomach twist even more. Screenshots, emails, explicit ones. Marcus wasn't just cheating. He had been using the company budget to fund weekend retreats like this. Alicia was only the latest addition. "He's a narcissist with a god complex," she muttered. "He thinks because I married him for his money, I won't burn him to the ground." She looked at me again. "You said you had video?" I nodded slowly. She didn't even smile, just whispered, "Good." We didn't speak for the next minute, just sipped our drinks in mutual silence, the weight of betrayal heavy between us. Finally, I asked, "What exactly are you planning?" She leaned in. "Marcus is about to get audited." "What?" "What he doesn't know is I'm the one who filed the anonymous financial misconduct report. The video you have, it'll make sure his board doesn't just fire him, they humiliate him. But I want more than that. I want her ruined too." "Alicia," my jaw tightened. "So do I," she paused, then said, "I've seen how she flirts with power, how she thinks she can manipulate every man in the room. I've seen her walk into the building in those heels like she owns the place." She turned to me. "Let's take all of it away from them. Reputation, career, social circle, everything." And for the first time that night, I smiled. The next few days were quiet, too quiet. Alicia acted like nothing happened. Came home from the retreat glowing with fake energy. "How was your weekend?" she asked me, kissing my cheek. I played along like I didn't know. "Busy," I said, smiling, "but productive." She had no idea what was coming. Talia and I had already begun phase 1. Talia contacted a trusted journalist at a mid-level outlet, someone who lived for scandals involving corporate misbehavior. I edited the video, blurring faces just enough to avoid legal blowback, but keeping Alicia and Marcus clearly recognizable. Talia compiled documents, company accounts, hotel receipts, and emails to back up the misuse of funds. Together, we wrote a full exposé. Behind the boardroom, the secret sex parties of wealthy executives. It was ready. We agreed to hold it just for a few days until the pressure would hurt the most. That week, Alicia started planning a power dinner for Marcus and his inner circle, a networking event at our home. "Of course I want you there," she said, touching my arm. "You've been so supportive. This is important to me. Supportive." I almost laughed. I agreed, smiled, played the part. Talia would be attending too, of course. Marcus still believed she was loyal. He had no clue the woman beside him was already sharpening the blade. Alicia fluttered around the house that evening, manicured fingers brushing over flower arrangements, wine bottles, hors d'oeuvres. "This dinner is huge," she said, adjusting her dress in the hallway mirror. "Marcus said the board is impressed with our last campaign. Tonight's about locking in that partnership deal." I just smiled. "Everything's ready," I said. And it was. The projector was installed discreetly above the fireplace, my phone synced to the remote in my pocket. Talia would arrive exactly 20 minutes after dinner began. Timing was everything. Marcus was first, smug in a navy suit, Rolex glinting. He kissed Alicia's cheek like he owned her. "Evening, champ," he said to me with a wink. I had to fight the urge to punch his veneers down his throat. Behind him came 3 board members, a few executives, and a young intern Alicia had once called harmless. She laughed too loudly at Marcus's jokes. He called her kitten. My jaw tensed. I poured drinks, I smiled, and I waited. Dinner began like any other corporate celebration. Lobster tail, wine, Alicia glowing with fake pride. Marcus tapped his glass. "I just want to say," he began, "none of this would be possible without teamwork and without visionaries like Alicia who push boundaries, work hard, and let's be honest, look damn good doing it." Everyone chuckled except me. I stood. "Speaking of pushing boundaries," I said calmly, lifting the remote from my pocket, "I have something I'd like to show you all." Alicia blinked. "What are you—" The living room lights dimmed automatically, and the projector fired up. It opened on shaky footage. Night vision. Alicia in lingerie, straddling Marcus's lap beside the glass coffee table at the retreat house, laughing, feeding him grapes, her hand disappearing out of frame. Gasps rippled through the room. "Turn it off," Marcus barked, shooting to his feet. I didn't flinch. "Oh, it gets better," I said, clicking again. New footage, this time the full group. Alicia, Marcus, a third man, and a woman in nothing but a tie. Champagne, laughter, then moaning. Someone in the back of the room dropped a fork. The intern turned pale. One of the board members muttered, "Is that our head of compliance?" Talia entered right on cue, her heels clicking against the marble like a metronome of judgment. She folded her arms, smirking. "Well, now that we're all caught up," she said coldly, "I've emailed the board a package. Evidence of fund misappropriation, harassment, and repeated policy violations." Marcus turned ghost white. "You? Talia, you wouldn't dare." "I already did," she said. "And your replacement will be here on Monday." Chaos broke out. Board members huddled around phones. The intern ran out crying. Marcus tried to storm toward me. Talia stepped between us, calm as ice. "Touch him," she said, "and you'll be dealing with criminal charges too." Alicia stood frozen. John, I can explain," she stammered, eyes wide. "It wasn't what it looked like." I looked her dead in the eyes. "You said you were working late that night, that I was paranoid." She looked like she might cry. I didn't care. "Enjoy the rest of your evening," I said, turning to the stunned guests. "Dessert's in the fridge. It's bitter." And with that, I walked out of the house. Marcus was officially terminated with cause by Monday morning. Talia filed for divorce, served by a smiling process server at Marcus's gym. Alicia put on indefinite leave pending HR investigation. The video leaked anonymously online. Corporate Reddit forums had a field day. By Thursday, their world was in flames. The fallout hit Alicia harder than she ever imagined. Marcus had been fired, publicly disgraced. Talia's evidence sent shockwaves through the company's board. Investigations were launched. 2 executives resigned. Internal emails were leaked. And Alicia, she became radioactive. Her name trended for all the wrong reasons. Her leave of absence quickly turned into a quiet termination. The company scrubbed her profile from every platform, and just like that, she went from rising star to corporate cautionary tale. But none of that was my real revenge. That was still to come. I stayed quiet. No angry texts, no emotional blow-ups, just silence. Alicia tried to reach out. A call on the second night after the party. A tearful voicemail. Then a knock at the door 3 nights later. I let her knock. Let her cry. Let her beg. And I opened the door only when I was ready. She stood there, hair a mess, mascara smudged, shoulders hunched in a way I'd never seen. "John," she said, "please, I made a mistake." I tilted my head. "No," I replied calmly. "You made a choice." She looked down. "I lost everything," she whispered. "Marcus? The job. I just wanted something different. I didn't mean for it to what?" I asked. "To blow up in your face." She swallowed. "I didn't think it would go this far." I stepped aside. She moved as if to come in. I held up a hand. "No, I'm not inviting you in." She froze. "Then why did you open the door?" I pulled a thin manila envelope from behind the doorframe. "Divorce papers," I said. "You'll find everything inside. I've already signed. I kept the house. You get none of the assets. Your infidelity was documented. My lawyer said it's airtight." Her face turned to ash. "I have nowhere to go." I didn't blink. "That's not my problem anymore." She reached for my hand. "John, please." I stepped back. "You remember when I used to come home late after working 16-hour days, trying to build something for us?" She nodded slowly. "You remember what you used to say when I got too tired to go out? When I missed dinner because of client emergencies?" A single tear slipped down her cheek. "You said I was boring, predictable." I stared at her. "I was building a future. You burned it down for a cheap thrill." "I'm sorry," she choked out. "I'm not," I said, "because now I finally get to start over without you." She walked away that night. Not because she wanted to, but because there was nowhere left to stay. Her name was dirt in the industry. No one was returning her calls. Her friends disappeared the moment the party video went viral. As for me, I sold the house, took a 6-month sabbatical to Europe, started consulting, working fewer hours for triple the pay. And for the first time in years, I felt free. I met someone in Lisbon. Smart, kind, grounded. Not flashy. No lies, no masks. And one night over coffee, she asked me, "Have you ever been in love before?" I smiled. "I thought I was," I said. But the truth is, I was just someone else's stepping stone. Alicia once said I'd never leave, that I had no other choice. But the truth? I did. I left the marriage. I left the pain. I left the lies. And in doing so, I took everything she thought I couldn't live without and walked away with my soul intact. Because sometimes revenge isn't loud. It isn't violent. It isn't cruel. Sometimes revenge is simply letting them choke on the silence you leave behind. You don't always need to destroy someone to win. Sometimes living better without them is the most powerful revenge of all. Was this revenge justified, or did it go too far? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We want to hear your take, and if you love jaw-dropping pro-revenge stories, make sure to hit that subscribe button and smash the like for more thrilling tales you won't want to miss. Every like, share, and subscription means the world to us. It helps us keep bringing you the stories you crave. Your support truly makes a difference. Thank you so much for being part of our community.